Welcome back. I am going to try to do this video without any editing. The only editing that we will be doing is when the oven goes off, because I have a pizza in there. I'm gonna stop you and come back. But other than that, we're gonna keep this going. If I stumble for words, if I don't know what to say, I will say one of the things that I saw in a YouTube video today was about being authentic. And I mean, I've heard some of this before. You don't think too much about how unauthentic we really are when we do videos. And I am famous for trying to make sure that there we go. Okay, be right back. Okay, we're back. So, as I was saying, or I think I was saying, I am famous for not really being that authentic. I'm famous for making sure that I have a decent shirt on, that my makeup's touched up, that my hair's okay. I try to make sure that I do my videos as soon as I get home from work before I change. And that's mainly because I typically will put my hair up as soon as I get home because I wear it down at work. And I don't wear it like this down at work. I usually have a barrette in it or a clip or something like that. And I actually had it in a scrunchie, and I did take it down because I guess I don't want to say I'm not really being authentic by taking it down, but I'm still not really made up. I don't know. It looked really bad, and I mean, I wouldn't wear that out to the grocery store, so I'm not gonna wear it on video. But I'm also not gonna really fix my hair for the video. I guess that's what I'm getting at. So what I want to try and do is to see if my videos going forward can be a little bit more authentic. Yes, I'm going to have a general idea of what I want to do a video on, but I'm not going to worry very much, a little bit, but not very much, on really how I look. I got a crochet t-shirt on because I like to crochet, and so that's what I have on. You know, yeah, I pulled my hair out of a scrunchie, but I wouldn't wear this out either. And you know, some people, I see some women that have naturally curly hair like mine that's long, and it's like they wear it down with no barrette or anything, and I'm just like, as soon as I look down, I look feral. Like, I could never be productive with hair like this down. That's why I have to wear it back in a barrette or something. It just would be constantly in my face. And also it may lay this way right now, but like in 3 hours, the weight changes its shape and it looks different. So, but that's why I usually will have it up, just to get it out of my face, because there's so much of it. But you know, watching this video on being more authentic just really got me to thinking about starting to just, I guess, do videos on like what comes to mind, like what I think about, what I think about that's just not entirely filtered, I guess, because there's a certain level of, I want to say that, but how do I say it in a better way? And I don't really want to have to worry about that anymore. You know, there was a time going back a few videos where I was like, I'm going to start painting my nails and making sure my makeup's on, and I'm not wearing t-shirts for my videos anymore, and done. Because, why? Like, that's not really who I am anyway. I mean, I like to dress up and look nice, but when I get home from work, if that's what I'm making a video and this is how I feel and this is how I look, this is who I am. So we are going to try and do this experiment of just being authentic going forward. All right, so with that said, the topic really for this video is going to kind of circle back to one I've done before, but things have changed a little bit. And so I had my oldest son and his new wife. They got married in October, and it's July right now. They were living with me for about 5 months, I think, from like February through June. Then they decided, I decided that I didn't want them staying any longer because they were not open to creating a budget. And they were borrowing money from me because they had no budget set. They were running out of money before the next paycheck came. They were overdrawing their account because of auto payments and then paying NSF fees. They were just out of control. And when they first came and I tried to sit down and do a budget, he seemed open, she did not. And when I got that negative feedback, I was like, well, then I'm done and you're no longer welcome to stay here. So we'll figure out a timetable and you guys will need to find another place to live. So they did, and they went and lived with her mother. And that lasted about a week. Without giving too much information, the conditions were not good, on top of the fact that the mother is not someone that is really good with change, even if she really would like to have someone staying with her. So long story short, that turned into a disaster. And because they essentially don't have any place to go, and they are in their late 30s, I'll just put that out there. And this is very common. I'm not dissing anybody, at that age or whatever's going on in your lives. It happens. I did it. I mean, when I had to do it, yes, times were different and my situation was different and I had kids, and the situation is even very different from that. But regardless, when you have family that can help, I think that's a good thing. But I was at a point where I was not willing to enable. I was willing to help, but not to enable. When I realized that I was not going to be a help, I didn't want to be part of that situation. So being that it's not working out with that other situation, I said, you're welcome to come back, but things will be very, very different. There will be conditions this time. And those conditions are, we will create a budget and you will stick to it. I will know where every penny is going. I will see every paycheck. Everyone will have chores. So that was agreed upon. And I think maybe things needed to happen the way they happened to get us to this point. And then another part of me was thinking, I almost wouldn't mind doing this indefinitely. And I think because things are so expensive these days that, not to say they shouldn't learn how to survive on their own, but if I can help them out and they can help me out, it almost doesn't make sense to have two different households. They don't have any kids. They have 2 cats and it's just me. So it almost seems stupid to pay 2 landlords 2 different rents. That's my thought process. I don't know if I can do it because I'm not really a big animal person. I know I'm unique, but it's true. And their cats are fine. I just have an issue with animal hair and if I walk barefoot, I do feel like I get stuff at the bottoms of my feet. And so, yeah, I'm a little OCD that way. That's my problem, I guess. But we might be able to make it work. And sometimes it's tough because you have two different lifestyles trying to live under one roof. It can be very, very challenging. But I think if you can have boundaries and rules and things, I think you can make it work. And so I'm open to that. I'm also open to getting out of this 2-bedroom rental and getting into something a little bit bigger. Bigger by just meaning 3 bedrooms instead of 2. My daughter is coming home from college for 2 weeks. She comes home tomorrow, and when she leaves, they will be moving back in here. But when my daughter's ready to come home, that's when we're gonna have some questions as to how that's gonna work. So my hope is that because she graduates in 2028 and we are in 2026, that I can get into a 3-bedroom of something. I want to buy something that's a 3-bedroom. I don't want to rent a 3-bedroom because rents are just ridiculous. I would much rather buy something. I don't even care if it's a mobile home. I really don't. The only problem I have is if I were to go into the city and get like a 2-family house, I don't think I'm a city girl anymore. I did live for a time in the city, and I swore I would never go back. I don't think I could deal with neighbors that are city neighbors. They're a different breed. So I'm open to look, but I doubt very much that I would find something that I feel would be okay for me. And I'm probably better off in a trailer park, honestly. I know those can be hit or miss too, but I don't know. I think it's more doable than a 2-family house. So we'll see. So those are just my thoughts on like what's going through my head today with regards to those guys moving back, my daughter coming back from a visit, and what I need to do as far as the way expenses are now. I mean, you know, I obviously can survive on my own. I have, and I would be fine moving forward the same way I have been. But it would be very nice to be able to put some money away to have if in an emergency, because right now that's very minimal, and I don't know, it just seems like it makes more sense to do that. Again, don't know if I can or not, but I guess we'll see. We'll give it some time, and I think the biggest thing is going to be if everybody can follow the rules, including myself, and get along and live together. So when they were here for the 5 months before, you know, it wasn't bad at all. You know, we had a couple of situations where the pots and pans didn't get washed for a few days. But as soon as I mentioned something, they did. And I don't mind them sitting for a day or two, as long as there's no smell or whatever. But overall, it went pretty good. I do like things picked up and put away, and I did let a lot of stuff go. So we will have to figure out that part. So my other thought was, I was thinking about getting a part-time job. And to be honest with you, I have gotten a part-time job within the last few months for like a month, and then I'd quit because I just don't want to work evenings after I get out of a full-time day job. If I had to, I could do it, But part of me's like, you don't really have to. Like, the extra money would be nice, but you don't really have to. And when you have that thought in your mind, you're like, nah, I'm not going in then. So this would fix that issue. It would keep me from having to get a part-time job. I just, I still have student loans that I want to get paid off. And the job that I have has a pension, but I hate my job. I hate it so bad. And I hate feeling chained to this job because it has a pension. The stress is so incredible and it's not worth the pay, to be honest with you. I'm not saying I'm leaving, but I would like to know I have the option to leave and go do something else. But strictly on my own, I certainly couldn't do that. So then moving in would at least give me the option to say, I can do it if I wanted to, switch jobs. I'm hoping that I'm just going through a phase right now where I'm bitter and pissed off at a couple of things and that it'll pass, because it has before. I do know if I can stick it out, this is a really good job. I just don't know if I can. I'm trying though. I am trying. So I guess we're going to end this here. It's definitely authentic. Don't know if we'll be able to keep doing this, but I'm going to definitely try. And I don't know. I guess that's all I got for you. I will catch you guys on the next one.